Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making a crocheted earring, and we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making some crocheted earrings. I'm going to use two colors. Now for a change, I actually bought some crochet thread so that I'd have a label so I could show you what size my crochet thread is. It is a size 10 crochet thread. And I'm guessing all the other crochet thread that I've inherited, it's basically the same weight. So I'm thinking it's the same. It's probably not the same brand name because this I inherited from my grandmother, and she passed away years and years and years ago. So yeah. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with making this earring consists of 3 circles. So we're going to do a big circle, medium circle, and a small circle, okay? So I'm going to take off my precious label and not lose it, right guys? Help me, tell me where I put it. Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to start by crossing our yarn. I know a lot of people do slip knots. If you do a slip knot, go ahead, do a slip knot. It's not what I do. I just do cross my yarn. And we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now going into that very first chain, we are going to do 6. So I wrapped my tail around my hook. Did you see that? I wrapped my tail around my hook. Oops. Sorry, I'm used to working with worsted weight. So we're going to do 6 single crochets in that center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, we're going to slip stitch into that very first stitch, and we're going to chain up 1. Okay, so our first round had 6 single crochets. Now we're going to increase, and we're going to put 2 stitches, 2 single crochets in each stitch around for a total of 12. And the chain 1 does not count as a stitch, okay? So 1, 2 in the same stitch. 3 and 4 go in the same stitch. 4, 5 and 6 in the same stitch. 5, 6, 7 and 8 in the same stitch. 7, 8, 9 and 10 in the same stitch. 9, 10, and 11 and 12 in the same stitch. Oops. 11 and 12. We're going to slip stitch into that very first stitch, slip, and chain up 1. Now this round is going to have 18 stitches, and we're doing it in multiples of 3. So here's what you do. 2 in the first stitch, 1, and this is still single crochet. 2 in the first stitch. 3 is on its own in the next stitch. 3. Okay, and then 4 and 5 are the same stitch. 4, 5, and 6 is on its own. So that's what I mean by the multiple, right? So 6 is on its own. 7 and 8 are together. 9 is on its own. 10 and 11 are together. 12 is on its own. 13, 14 are together. 15 is on its own. 16 and 17 are together. 18 is on its own. And we've got to our 18, so now we slip stitch into that first stitch and we're chaining up 1. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. Okay, so now we're going to do another round, and this will be in multiples of 4. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can go 1, and it's all single crochet. 1, 2 in the same stitch, 3 is on its own, and 4 is on its own. So now you can just start over again and count 2 in the first stitch, 3 and 4 on their own, or you can just keep counting. So I would go 5 and 6 together, 7 is on its own, and 8 is on its own. Or you can do it like this: 1 and 2 together, 3 and 4 are on their own until you get to the other side. Okay, so do that all the way around until you have a total of 24 stitches. Okay, meet me back. Okay, so I got all the way around. I'm going to slip stitch and pull through, chain up 1, and now we're going to do our 5th round, which is multiples of 5. So we're going to put 2 in that first stitch. 1, 2, 3 is on its own, 4 is on its own, and 5 is on its own. And we're going to get a total of 30 stitches. So 6 and 7 are together. 8 is on its own. 9 is on its own. And 10 is on its own. Keep going all the way around till you get a total of 30 stitches. Meet me back. Okay, so I'm at 30. I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch, chain up 1, and now we're going to do another round, and this is in multiples of 6. So 2 in the first one, 1, 2, 3 is on its own, 4 it's on its own, 5 is on its own, and 6 is on its own. Okay, and then 7 and 8 are together. 9 is on its own. 10 is on its own. 11 is on its own. And 12 is on its own. Keep going around until you have 36 stitches and meet me back. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, so we've got 36 stitches. I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch. I'm going to make a long loop, cut my thread, pull my tail through my thread, and we're going to hide these threads. If we did the center right, when you give the center a little pull, it'll cinch right up. Okay? If it doesn't, use that tail to stitch the center up, okay? So that one is 36. Now we're going to switch to our white. Pardon me. We're going to cross our yarn. We're going to chain 2. And we're basically, whoops, I lost my stitch. Okay. 1, 2, and going into that first one. Whoops, come on now. Going into our first one, we're going to catch the tail. Sorry, I got shaky. Too much coffee. Okay. And we're going to do just like we did with the other one. We're going to do 6. Come on now. Single crochets. There we go. Into that center. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Slip stitch into the first one. Chain up 1. And like we did with the other, we're going to do 2 in each stitch. Basically, we're going to do exactly what we did with this, except that you're only going to build it up. So we built this one up to 36. This one we are going to build up to 24. Okay, so that would be 4 rounds. Okay, so this round we get 2 in each stitch. 1 for a total of 12. 2. Oops, come on now. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Slip stitch into that first stitch. And chain up 1. Okay, so we're at 12 and we want to bring it to 24. So you would do your round of 3s and then your round of 4s. So do that and meet me back. Okay, so I've got 24. So I did my round of 3 and I did my round of 4. We're going to slip stitch into that first stitch. We're going to make a big loop, cut our yarn, or cut our thread, pull the tail through, okay, there we go. We're also going to hide those threads. So see how it's a little bit smaller than the other one? And now we're going to make another circle, all the same steps, but this time we are only making it 12. So chain 2, slip stitch into that first chain, and do 6. Come on now. 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip stitch into that first stitch, chain up 1, and then we're putting 2 in each. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you haven't had a chance, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. 7, 8, and watch for new videos every Thursday. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Slip stitch into that first stitch. And make your loop big, cut your thread, put your tail through your loop, hold tight, and then if you did the center right, that center should cinch right up. Okay, so since I didn't take my own advice and hide all my threads with every one, I'm going to do that now. Meet me back when all your threads are hidden. Okay guys, so I have all my threads hidden, which I gotta tell you, I hate hiding threads. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna line up your circles. You're gonna pick, I'm going, maybe not that big. I'm going with a bigger jump ring. You know, I don't even know if we have, well, it's pretty thick. Okay, anyway. Argues with self and loses. Okay, so I'm gonna take my ear wire. Now here's the thing. I want my ear wire, little thing here, to face the other way. So very gently, a little bit at a time, I am gonna move my loop to where I want it, which I did now. Okay? And that's just because once I put the jump ring on, I want it to sit the certain way. So make sure that your ear wire loop is facing like this. So there's the ear part. Don't know if I'm going blurry. There's the ear part, and you want the hoop to face like that. Okay, so I'm taking my jump ring now. And you always open your jump rings sideways, never open them out. You always open them. So I'm just going to catch a stitch on my smallest circle. Then I'm going to catch a stitch on my medium circle. And then I'm going to catch a stitch on my large circle. Come on now. Catch a stitch on the large circle. We don't want to distort the stitches though, so don't force it if it's not doing. Move it. Okay. Now to close our jump ring. Oh, sorry. We want to put on our ear wire and make sure it's going in the right direction. Okay, now we're just going to close that jump ring. If you are concerned about your stuff coming out of the jump ring, just put a dab of clear nail polish on the opening, and that'll help prevent any slippage. Okay, and now you also can iron your circles if you wanted to, and there is your earring. Can't see it very well like that. Let me hold it up. There you go. There's your earring. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Of course, you have to make the second earring now. And look in the description. I have started something new. I have designed a crochet journal, planner, diary, whatever you want to call it. I have designed one, and it's a download. And what it allows you to do is I've made sections in it so that you can put what projects you're making, what size crochet hook you're using, all kinds of stuff, and you can really make it your own. So I'll go check it out. It'll be in the description. And also I'll put a link to my Facebook crochet group, okay? As well as some other links. Just check the description. It's got all kinds of neat little tidbits in there. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.